But I keep getting asked, what would I do today if I was a new person in real estate? So I'm going to tell you, this is what I would do. I'm not going to tell you what I would do today. I'm going to tell you what I did 14 years ago. And if I was brand new in real estate, I would do exactly the same thing. Just to clarify, I feel I'm qualified to talk on this topic. The stuff I'm going to tell you, I've done. Things I haven't done, I've just made them up. Everything I'm going to tell you is what I did in my first couple of years in real estate. Now, in my first year of real estate, I made about $150,000. In my second year of real estate, I made about $250,000. So I listed over 100 homes in my first year. This is not bullshit, this is the truth. And I sold 80 in my first year. I took out the Wilson Pride #1 top lister, top seller for the entire state. There was about 40 officers at the time, and that company was bought out by Charles Tarbury, Century 21. At about the 2-year mark, 2.5 year mark, I moved to Hocking Stewart. Then I moved to Ray White. Then I opened up Ray White Highton, and then I left the Ray White Highton group and went into business with Michelle Winkle, and we're now coming up 7 years as the Hayes Winkle Group. Been in real estate 4 years, probably 7 or 8 years of those I was listing and selling. The last 5 years I've strictly been not listing or selling. I've been managing the 4 offices. Park all of that. If I was a brand new salesperson today, now these are in no order, so I'm just going to tell you, this is what I would do today. I say this to all my new salespeople, okay? Don't try and learn how to sell a home. Oh, I've got to run around and try and sell David's listing. Oh, I've got a buyer on the phone. I need to find them a house to buy. You are wasting your time. You're wasting your time. That time could be spent on prospecting. So rule number 1 is become a prospecting machine, because if you do, you'll become a listing machine. Okay? I don't know anybody that doesn't have a ton of that doesn't have a ton of stock, that doesn't have a ton of listings, that doesn't make a lot of money. So number 1, most importantly, is if you're new, stop trying to learn how to sell. If your principal or your mentor is telling you, oh, you need to work with buyers, you need to do all this sort of stuff first. For me, I didn't do that. That's not been my journey. I automatically spent my time focused on listing property, okay? And after 1 year in real estate, I earned $150,000, and that was 14 years ago, so probably worth a fair bit more than 150K today. That's the truth, okay? Number 1. I just want to say as well, there's going to be people that will disagree with what I say, and that's fine. This is just my opinion, my point of view, my story, okay? You gotta show enthusiasm. If you're a batshit boring person, you're not gonna make much money in real estate. Show some exuberance, be expressive.
So what is so special about Dave? Most people don't think much of him, since he seems like a very average person. Nothing special. Most would describe him as being boring. The one thing Dave cannot avoid.
It's Saturday. There are always busy days at the office. Much paperwork to be filed. I look forward to Saturdays very much.
Dave suffers from a very common mental disorder known as Phycabinitium Monotonicium Lithium, or FML for short.
Show them who you are. Don't be scared to show some personality. Get excited about the property. Jesus, wow, my God. I can't believe how gorgeous that fireplace is. Oh my God. Come over here, check this out to the PA. Check this out. This is gonna be the Photoshop. Make a note of that. Wow. Don't spend a month planning a prospecting plan. Prospect and plan while you're prospecting. So I would be prospecting, walking the streets, knocking on doors, dropping letterbox, and not be planning about the Ferrari I'm gonna buy one day, okay? So do. It's all about the action. Action is the magic word. So many people have to have the perfect plan. What area? I'll map it out. I'll count the homes. I'll do this. Their plan is so complicated, they never ever execute the plan. So just get off your ass and prospect, okay? So whether it be letterbox drop, door knocking, whatever it is, you've got to prospect. It's got to underpin everything you do. In 12 months of real estate, 95% of my day was prospecting. I know people will do anything to avoid it, but you got to prospect. Welcome to real estate. You're a prospector. Forget about being a real estate agent. You're a prospector. If you have an area, your area should be no more than 1,000 to 1,500 homes. Okay, this is what most people do. Oh, they drop it for 3 months. They drop that area or they prospect a core area and then it gets boring. So they move to another area and then they move to another area. And I've got people in my team that have been there 10, 15 years and they still don't have an area. I had one area in Belmont and I was dominant in that area. Stick to one area, it will eventually pay dividends. You've got to have gall. If you don't know what gall is, it means you've got to be really upfront.
Oh my God. You see this right here? Who did that one? Who did that? Okay, watch this. Now, my mom said if it's darker than me and it don't pay the bills, it shouldn't be there, right? God bless you. Now look, this right here, we just upgraded like Beyonce. This is our new surfactant. Hold this and watch this, because this should be the main reason why you get the HBO special. You know what HBO means? No. You get to help a brother out.
You've got to have balls. You've got to have a little, you've got to have true tenacity. You've really got to ask the tough questions. Cut to the chase. I remember one of my bosses once, he said, oh, Danny, you shouldn't ask people straight up if they want a listing. He said, it's like asking for sex on the first date. Well, you know what? I don't have an issue with that. Every person I meet, if I was eating a meat pie at the footy and the guy said to me, next to me, said, hey, dude, is that a nice meat pie you're munching on? I'd say, yeah, it is a nice meat pie I'm munching on. Hey, by the way, dude, you're not thinking of selling, are you? Because I'm a real estate agent. The amount of listings I've got where people have said, as a matter of fact, I've been selling with such and such for a long time and it hasn't sold. You've got to be disciplined. You've got to have a level of discipline. Now, I'm the most undisciplined person on the planet, okay? But listen, my day would generally start between 8 and 9 a.m. and I'd always finish around 7. I did work long hours, but a lot of that was prospecting. I'll give you an example of discipline, okay? You might only have 4 open homes on a Saturday. They start at 2 o'clock and finish at 2:30. A lot of people will rock up at 9:45, do their open home and finish at 2:30. I would rock up at 8:30, I would prospect, do my open homes, and then I would discipline myself to prospect till 5:30. I did that religiously. The number one way to get listings in my business is through open homes. Now listen, you're an idiot if you stand at a doorway at an open home and don't talk to people, okay? You've got to have lots of dialogue with people, okay? If people are looking to buy, they're probably considering selling. It's just the fact. If you do more open homes, more OFIs than anybody else, you don't need to prospect as hard because you can prospect those open homes. Now listen, I did 10 open homes on a Saturday and 10 open homes on a Sunday. 4 years. Okay, I did more OFIs than anyone else. I guarantee you this, just that one thing, doing OFIs on Wednesdays, Thursdays, Saturdays and Sundays, 4 days a week will reap rewards. There's just dollar signs all over that. You get to see the same buyers all the time, don't you? They say, hey, Danny, you're working again. Yeah, I am. Just imagine if I was selling your home. This is how hard I work. Oh, I just did an open home with such and such. Did you know them? No, I've never seen them before. You see me every week. Just imagine how hard I'm going to work if I'm selling your home. Say it in a fun, cheeky way. Build relationship, build a rapport with people. That's what happens when you do a lot of OFIs, okay? You've got to do lots of OFIs. Open the property twice. Remember this, no one cares about the $9 plastic ward you won because you're the best agent in the universe. Who cares? People's favourite topic is themselves. Ask them questions. People love to speak. I do. Ask your potential vendor, questions about themselves. Every single listing, and I mean everyone, you tight ass, get them a pre-listing kit. A box with some chocolates in, some information, whatever. And don't ask me what's in your pre-listing box. Who cares what it is? Be smart. Don't ever drop it off yourself and always drop it off, an hour or a day before the listing presentation. One is it shows massive impact. It shows that you've got the finger on the pulse. Always drop a pre-listing kit off. Get someone in the office to drop it off. You might not have a PA, but buddy up with someone. Knock, knock. Hi, just dropping off some information regarding David, who's going to see you tomorrow at 9:30. busy, yeah. David goes back to the office. He gives a report. He says, oh, there was 2 dogs that came running up to the house. Oh, the house looked really neat and tidy. It was a Californian bungalow. It was contemporary. Gives David a bit of intel. David goes to the pre-listing kit with some smackos. You know, they're small things, but they're 1%ers. And you join all the 1%ers up, you win more business. It's just a fact. Okay, at the listing presentation, if you don't win it, if you don't close it on the spot, every listing presentation I went to, I tried to close them on the spot. So I do a trial close. So it might be something like this. Hi, David and Janet. If I did an incredible deal for you today, something that's just right out of this world, would you look at moving forward with the paperwork? And if they said, no, we've got 19 agents coming through and, my brother-in-law is actually a real estate agent and my son's a real estate agent, I might have, a little dip, I might not feel so excited about the listing. But if I feel that I've got a chance, but I can't close it on the spot, and there is a fine line, there's a delicacy between knowing how to close hard and because if you close too hard at the wrong time, you're actually going to push them away. So that is a craft, an art, a skill that comes with time. But if I don't win a listing, and all my PAs will attest to this, I would always have a pre-made thank you letter made up, dear David and Jan. And on the way out, I would drop them in their letterbox with a couple of movie tickets, okay? They get a pre-listing kit, you have a great presentation, they get another gift. If you keep giving to people, you're gonna get something back. It's just a fact. But you know what most agents do? They go, oh, I just spent $30. I won't get it back. I'm not giving them a pre-listing kit. It's not hot. I mean, so, they have this, the itty-bitty shitty committees start telling them they shouldn't do this and they shouldn't do that. You know what? You've got to do lots of things in real estate if you want to earn a ton of money. If you want to be the best, you've got to invest big time at the start. Big time. What people don't do, and I'll talk about Stacey at the moment. Stacey, who's settled just on $400,000 this year. It's her second year in real estate. She's never worked in real estate before and didn't know Geelong. But when I drive around her area, I see big promotional boards of Stacey Billowell everywhere. So each year, try and get 4 big promo boards up in your area. Included in that year, try every quarter, again, 4 times, 4 full-page ads of yourself. Okay, they're just little things. It might cost you 10, 15 grand. Invest. You will eventually get a return actually, but you might go, but I can't afford it. Well, you know what? You're going to have to afford it. Make it happen. At listing presentations, I'd always go with a PA, but it doesn't matter if you don't, but I would role play me negotiating a sale, because my point of difference was I wouldn't tell them how great the photos would look or how many open for inspections I would do. I would show them how I deal with multiple offers. I would show them how I get someone from 550 up to 600. I would actually role play that with them. I'd get them to play the bad cop and I'd be the good cop, and I would show them in real time what it looked like, what I'd be doing behind the scenes when they weren't watching me, and I would really, showcase that was the most important thing of what a real estate agent does. It's what they're doing when you're not watching them behind the scenes, and that is acting with absolute integrity to hold their price in the highest regard. Remember, you know what? People forget this. They've been paying off their home for 30 years. And it's your job to get as much as you can. And, I make no apologies. We don't work for purchasers. We work for vendors. When you're in your patch working, don't ignore signs of life, okay? This is what lazy agents do all the time. They see a dump master, they just drive past it. Oh, who cares? They see a garage sale, can't be bothered. They see domestic violence, police tape. They don't go and knock on the door. Something's obviously happened there. They don't chase it. They see a hearse coming out of a home. Someone's potentially selling. The signs of life everywhere. Someone's painting a home. Someone's doing some landscaping. These are signs of life that people are potentially thinking of selling their home or looking to move. You should be door knocking all of these. Get an awesome car. I know some people disagree with this. When you start out, you can't afford much. I borrowed $17,000, $18,000 and bought an Audi, and I borrowed that money. Prior to that, I had a 1978 Corolla, and my now ex-wife was driving a Hyundai. So we didn't have any money at all, but I got a car, and I looked the part, okay? I just felt good back in 1994 driving around in an Audi, you know? It just made me feel good. So I think that's really important. And I don't believe it. I don't know whoever came up with this bullshit, okay? Park your car down the street so they can't see you. You know, park your car down the street so they can't see how successful you are. You know what? When I get my Ferrari back, which will be soon, I'll go to, if I have to go to a listing presentation or go to an auction, I'll go to an auction in my Ferrari. I won't park it out the front, I'll probably park it around a corner, but I'll make sure that when I drive off, a few people see me. Because what's wrong with hiding that you're super successful? There's nothing wrong with that. And people might judge you, they might go, oh, look at this wanker, but deep down they're thinking he's probably bloody successful. Don't ignore that. If you can, you don't have to do this, but invest in a small church, a small cross, and wear it on your lapel. It's just a 1%er, but it does help with the oldies. Become an auctioneer. Don't just become an auctioneer, become a bloody good auctioneer. I can't tell you how much business I get just from being an auctioneer. Even today, one of the $1 Million Bogans I did recently, some people came to watch me and they listed with Grace on the spot. I'll be doing their auction. Do what you say you're gonna do. If you say you're gonna ring the vendor back at 5 o'clock, make sure you do it. Nothing more pisses me off than people saying they're gonna do stuff and they don't do it. They lose instant credibility with me. I'm quite OCD, so you know, I call people back, I say what I do what I say I'm gonna do all the time. It's absolute integrity. If you're selling my home, most vendors are highly strung. Selling a home is a big deal. You know, if you say you're gonna call someone back, call them back. You know, don't wait till the end of the day to give someone a report on how their opener homes went. That is just dumb. Call them back that minute. I used to get my vendors to meet me. If I had an open home from 12 to 12:30, I'd say, listen guys, can you come back at 25 past 12? I'd get them to mosey on through. They'd hear me talking potential buyers, and then I'd give them a report in real time. You know what? Then I don't have to make the phone call. I was killing two stones with one bird, killing one stone with two birds. I don't know what it is, but you get the drift. If you're gonna drop marketing material, okay, and I get this shit in my letterbox all the time, and I look at it all, put it in a blank envelope, like a white envelope or a blue, whatever your colour is. Let's say the colour of your company is orange. Just put it in an orange envelope with nothing on it, drop it in. Guess what? It gets opened. Don't be a tight ass and drop photocopied shit, okay? Get it printed professionally, do everything professional. If you're not a professional, I'm not a professional, I'm just trying to act like a professional. Really important, show compassion. I see these people on Facebook real estate groups and they're gloating. I got 3.5%, I got 4%. You know, they gloat about they got a massive commission. Don't do that, that's being an asshole. Show compassion. If some old lady has just lost her husband and is looking to go into a retirement home, you know, do her a cheap deal, you know. Give her something for free, do it half price. I mean, if you're making a ton of money and you've rolled up there in your brand new BMW wearing your, you know, $1,500 suit with your $400 tie and your $400 cufflinks and your $10,000 watch, and these people are pensioners, or, you know, be nice to people, do them a deal. Karma is a good thing. If you're an asshole all the time, if you're just there to screw everyone on every deal, it's going to come back and it's going to bite you big time. Lastly, I'm just going to sell this. Don't sell your vendor out. Ultimately, you know, and I've talked about purple bricks a bit lately and stuff, but, you know, I think that an agent really only gets paid for one thing, ultimately one thing, and it's for what happens behind closed doors when the vendor's not there. So what happens, it's what I say to the potential purchaser and how I negotiate their figure up. And I know that I'm really good at this. I don't sell my vendors out. And, you know, remember this, try and think of this. Next time you're negotiating, just imagine that you're negotiating on behalf of your mum and dad, and they've spent their whole life paying off their home, and every $1,000 counts. You know, don't sell them out. You know, learn how to read the play. You can learn how to read the play. It comes with life experience, you know. Someone's first offer isn't their best offer, and someone that hammers into me that they're never gonna pay a cent more than $525,000, if that's the first thing that comes out of their house, and generally they're the first people to get up.